So today we're going to talk about streamlining troubleshooting with remote access and data logging. First, a little bit about us. We are ProSoft Technology. We're a global organization founded in Bakersfield, California. We were first founded in, we became incorporated back in 1988. So we've been around for about 30 years now, doing different protocol communication modules for Rockwell, Schneider, various other PLC vendors. And in that given time, we've become very strong application experts in the industrial world. Historically, ProSoft has always been known as the Modbus guys, simply because we've been around for a while, and we would do kind of protocol conversion from A to B, or a Rockwell and chassis module to a different protocol. But we do a lot more than that. We do industrial protocol conversions for applications now, more application focused. So modernizing legacy PLC equipment to newer PLC based equipment, or migrating from one PLC platform to another. We have a bunch of standalone gateways for modernization, building automation, electrical substation utilities, along with our backplane modules for Rockwell and Schneider. And then we have a whole line of wireless products. So frequency hopping radios, 802.11 radios, industrial cellular, wireless I/O. There's probably some more that I'm forgetting. But over the last few years, we've kind of created this renewed focus inside the organization, so that we're not just a protocol conversion company. These are strategic imperatives. These are more like our core values. So we want to provide excellent solutions to our customers, and not just, hey, here's a module, figure it out. We are investing in emerging technologies, so wireless, cellular, IIoT, cloud-based tools. We understand that our customers and the industry are moving that way, and we want to be your partner in these applications, and we will develop solutions to help you guys win with your customers or within your organization. Our customer experience is something that we've prided ourselves on for the last 30 years. I think something that sets us apart over other companies is that when we provide a product, if it's the Ethernet IP to Modbus, we understand that the product we're providing is because the two systems that you have don't integrate well to each other. So if we provide a product to help you get those connected, we'll also help you get them connected. So from the PLC side and the end device side. And then strengthening our partnership. So we work really well with Rockwell, our distributors, with Schneider, with our end users, our system integrators. You guys are not just our customers, but you're our partners on this journey. So we want to talk a little bit about applications today. ProSoft right now has 4 key applications, or 4 key areas that we really provide excellent solutions for, and not just product-wise, but customer support, customer sales, product management, engineering, test engineering. Our company is built around supporting these key applications. So automated material handling, so any type of moving piece of equipment in an automotive or logistics or food and beverage industry. Modernization, as I spoke about briefly a minute ago. Modernizing from one PLC platform to another, or upgrading legacy PLC equipment to newer equipment. Integrated flow computing, which is integrated flow computing is taking, instead of a standalone flow computer and a standalone RTU on, say, a wellhead and multi-well pads, replacing all of that with a single Logix controller and a single flow computer to a single flow computer to help reduce overall cost and total cost of ownership. And then remote connectivity. So as I spoke about a minute ago, the industrial Internet of Things and doing more with the data that we have is really starting to come to a head, and more customers are recognizing the value in it. Machine data, getting access to the machine data to be able to make better business decisions is something that's really of value to a lot of customers. So today we're going to focus on remote connectivity and machine data. As you guys know, challenges for controls engineers, you guys are busy people, whether you're a controls engineer at a system integrator, a controls engineer at an OEM machine builder, at an end user, or a contractor. All controls engineers are busy, and they all face similar problems. If you're not building a new system and you're helping troubleshoot an existing system, you're not making money. And when you're troubleshooting an existing system, it could be anywhere in the world. So the amount of travel that it takes to get from one side of the world to the other for a faulty piece of equipment really impacts the controls engineer's ability to deliver on what they should be delivering on. Did not know there was sound there. So yeah, control engineering 2016 did a system integrator report. If you look at the chart on the right, measuring project effectiveness, productivity, on time, and on budget were the top three reasons, or the top three things that every system integrator suffers, or I guess the things that suffer the most when system integrators or controls engineers are spending time troubleshooting or doing something that's not building a new project or a new panel or designing a new machine control system. So over this period of time, we've talked to lots of controls engineers, and we talked to them about things that help their business run. And the questions that we get from controls engineers are, how do we reduce unscheduled downtime on their pieces of equipment? So you see the first bullet is there's over $20 billion in unscheduled downtime on automation equipment every year. This is a massive number. This is globally, but it's $20 billion in money that's just kind of going out the window or being burned. How can we maximize productivity on our pieces of equipment? They're producing, but we want to know when they're not producing very well, or if they're starting a downward trend, or if there's something else going wrong. How can we maximize that productivity? And whether it's for an OEM wanting to provide some sort of service on their piece of equipment, or if it's an end user that wants to make sure that their plant's running as efficiently as possible. Those are questions that we get asked quite a lot. How can we differentiate our machines from the competitors, or how can we provide a better service than a competitor? But these are all things that revolve around data, big data, the industrial Internet of Things, and machine learning and analytics. So ProSoft's worked over the last few years trying to help our customers get over these hurdles, answer some of these questions, and provide a better value. So the first part of this is remote access. So ProSoft has a line of secure remote access products. We have a cellular product and a wired product that runs off of our EasyBridge technology. The EasyBridge technology is different than other remote access solutions because what it does is it lets you use tools like RS Logix, Unity, Step 7, Factory Talk, pretty much any piece of software that you have on your PC, just like you're plugged into the Ethernet switch at the remote site. So that you don't have special drivers, there's no complicated configuration of the automation software, there's no communication drivers that need to be configured in, say, RS Links. It's all handled through the EasyBridge technology. Your PC will get an IP address on the remote site. So as far as any of the software knows, you're sitting right in front of those pieces of equipment. And it makes it really easy to troubleshoot. If you have a PLC or an HMI and a drive all connected to this piece of equipment, you can access all of that information and all that data. The difference is you're accessing all of that information and all of that data right now, and you're not able to see historic representation of what that data is. So that's where the ProSoft data logging product comes in place. So once you've connected into a piece of equipment, you can see what's wrong at that given period of time. But with the data logging product, you can get access to the data up until that point, and it'll help make better business decisions. So if a piece of equipment has broke or it's not running as it should, being able to look at that historic information to see what caused that is extremely valuable. So yeah, some of the benefits of the remote access and data logging combination are you can connect to equipment all over the world, reducing travel costs, reducing the total cost of ownership, gaining efficiencies within your organization. If you're working on something new and something that's going to help make you money in the future, going and troubleshooting something 1,000 miles away isn't helping to grow your business, regardless of what it is. And then the ability to have the access to that equipment and then have all of the data right there gives you, it allows for a comprehensive picture of everything that's being logged. So you can see if a motor is not producing or it's not performing as it should. You can see if vibration dampeners have started to make more noise than what they have over a given period of time, and kind of give you a better idea of what's going on with the machine before you attempt to fix it. So we have some use cases on data logging. So imagine a maintenance situation where you're either an oil and gas company or integrator or responsible for, say, 10 or 20,000 wells. We're getting all of that data from those wells back to a centralized server or centralized location. It's a massive amount of data, and it's I don't say impossible, but extremely cumbersome. Now, what if you had a way to log all of the data on all of those pump jacks all over the world or all over a given area, and then you could go back and view it in case of an alarm? So say you have a wireless network or a cellular network, a wireless backbone or a cellular backbone, that you can get an alarm that says, hey, pump 26 or 260 or whatever it is going into alarm. Let's go see what's going on. You can remote into that site, look at all of the data that's being logged on the data logger, and you can make an intelligent business decision. If, say, the vibration dampeners are going out and you've seen that before because it's happened on other sites, and you know that there's a motor bearing that's gone out, you can send a maintenance technician on site with all the right material to solve the problem the first time rather than having to go out multiple times. Intermittent network connections is another reason for logging data. So not all equipment always has a network connection. The middle picture there is a mining truck. You could put a cellular radio or a satellite radio or wireless technology on it, but once it goes underground into a mine, the connection's gone. But it's still important to understand what's going on with that truck. Same thing with the weather buoy. If it's really cloudy or stormy and the network connection gets lost, weather reporters still wants to know, they want to understand what's going on with that buoy. If they lose connection for a day and a half in all these different areas, and they're losing all of that data, they can't develop a trend on what's happening to forecast the weather properly. Another really great use case for OEMs monitoring equipment. And this could be OEM machine builders. This could be system integrators. This could even be end users. But if you have a machine that you're shipping for an OEM, if you have a machine that you're shipping all over the world, and you want to be able to provide a better value for your customer, what about the ability to remote into that machine over a given period of remote into that machine, look at the data from either deployment or over a period of time, and be able to provide some preventative maintenance to the end user. If you notice something's going wrong with a drive or a belt, or some sensors are faulting, sending a report to the end user to let them upgrade the machine so that it's running at optimal performance is a better value add. Compressor skids, oil and gas multi-well pads, huge skids that have tons of pieces of equipment and tons of data points on there. And any one of those, or any given number of those sensors or valves or compressors that break or that are going to break will shut the entire skid down. So being able to remote in, troubleshoot, and fix it, or at least provide some guidance on fixing it before it actually breaks, is another good value add. And then, you know, typical network troubleshooting. I worked in tech support for quite some time, and you know, we'd always get a random call. I was like, hey, everything was working, and then it just stopped, and then it started again, or I had to turn it off and turn it back on, and it's difficult to diagnose. Having a way to log all of that data to see what's actually happening on the network, so when something does randomly appear, is a great troubleshooting tool. So the ProSoft products and the ProSoft platforms that we have for these types of solutions are our PLX35 and our ICX35 are our secure remote access tools. One's a wired version. So you have a WAN port that plugs into the internet and a LAN port that plugs into the local machine. The remote access is handled by ProSoft Connect. The cellular product is very similar, where the WAN port's actually a cellular antenna that goes out to the internet, and then the LAN port plugs into the local machine. And then the data logging product, and I'll talk about the data logging product a little bit more in just a second. The remote access solutions available through ProSoft Connect. You can visit prosoft.io, start up a free account if you want to kind of mess with the software and see what it looks like. But it's our cloud-based remote access platform. We host it online on Amazon Web Services, so we run behind Amazon security. And then we use the Microsoft native VPN client for VPN security. The gateways, both gateways, when they connect to the cloud, support two-factor authentication, again, for security purposes. And then there's text messaging available in the ICX35, the cellular module. So if something happens and you're logging data and you see that something's going awry, you can send a text message to an engineer or a controls guy so that they can start evaluating the issue and get it resolved as quick as possible. Some of the data logging features, data can be manually downloaded to a CSV file using our configuration software, or data can be pushed to a Logix controller. The different logging modes are stored until memory is full, or oldest data is overwritten when memory is full, FIFO buffer. And it can be logged in a couple different ways, through a delta change, a heartbeat, or a tag trigger. It supports 4 different protocols, industrial protocols: Ethernet IP, Modbus RTU, and Modbus RTU or Modbus TCP or DF1. So it doesn't support all of them at the same time, but it will support each one of these individually. And it's a pretty big amount of memory that I can store. So 16 million, I think it's 16.7 million, so almost 17 million timestamp records from Ethernet IP, DF1, or Modbus devices. The timestamps include year, month, day, hour, minute, second, millisecond. It's got a 50 millisecond resolution. Yeah, bits, bytes, integers, double integers, or reals can all be stored. and then it can actually store from 3 different source devices, and 200 total tags intermixed between those 3 different devices. So I appreciate everybody joining the webinar. So if you guys have any additional questions, feel free to give us a call. You can visit our website at www.prosoft-technology.com. If you're looking for more information on secure remote access, you can check out our secure remote access platform at prosoft.io. And then if you have any questions on configuring anything, or want to view any of our commercial videos on any of this, you can visit our YouTube channel.